My life exploded the day I scratched a $10 million lottery ticket. By dinner, my wife was already packing her bags, demanding half. It was a Tuesday, the kind of gray, forgettable day where nothing should happen. I was at the gas station, half asleep, buying my usual pack of smokes and a lottery ticket on a whim. The cashier, a kid with acne and a bored stare, handed me the ticket like it was just another piece of paper. I scratched it in my truck, expecting nothing. Then those numbers, 7, 14, 23, 28, 41, 49, stared back at me, glowing like a miracle. $10 million. dollars. My hands shook so hard I dropped my cigarette, burning a hole in my jeans. I laughed, a manic, disbelieving sound, and drove home to tell Sarah. Sarah and I had been married for 12 years, high school sweethearts. We'd built a life in our small Ohio town modest house. 2 cars, a dog named Rusty. It wasn't perfect. She'd nag about my late nights at the auto shop. I'd grumble about her endless yoga retreats. But we loved each other, or so I thought. That night, I burst through the door, ticket in hand, grinning like a kid on Christmas. "Sarah, baby, we're rich," I shouted, waving the ticket. Her eyes lit up, but not with joy, something sharper, hungrier. She grabbed the ticket, studied it, then looked at me like I was a stranger. "We need to talk," she said, her voice flat. By midnight, she'd dropped the bomb. "I'm leaving you. Tom, I want my half." My jaw hit the floor. Half? We weren't even divorced yet, and she was already carving up my win like a Thanksgiving turkey. I laughed, thinking it was a joke. "Sarah, come on. We're a team." But her face was stone cold. "I've been unhappy for years," she said. "This money's my way out." I stood there, dumbstruck, as she packed a suitcase and walked out, leaving me with Rusty and a sinking feeling that my dream had just turned into a nightmare. The next morning, I called my buddy Mike, a lawyer who mostly handled DUIs but knew enough to scare me. "Tom, Ohio's an equitable distribution state," he said, sipping coffee at the diner. "She could get half, maybe more, depending on the judge." I choked on my eggs. "Half I bought the ticket." Mike shrugged. "Doesn't matter. You're married. It's marital property." I felt the walls closing in. $10 million, dollars, and I might not see a dime. Worse, Sarah was already posting on social media cryptic stuff about new beginnings and getting what's mine. The town was buzzing. Old ladies at the grocery store gave me pitying looks. Guys at the shop slapped my back, half joking. "Man, you're screwed." I wasn't going down without a fight. I hired a real lawyer, a shark named Linda Voss, who wore red heels and didn't blink at my story. "We'll fight this," she said, her voice like steel. "But it's gonna get ugly." Ugly didn't cover it. Sarah's lawyer, some slick guy from Cleveland, painted me as a deadbeat husband who'd neglected her for years. My client deserves her fair share. He argued in court, while Sarah sat there, dabbing her eyes with a tissue like she was auditioning for an Oscar. I wanted to scream. Neglected I'd worked overtime to pay for her yoga retreats, her designer bags, her self-discovery nonsense. But the judge, a stern woman with glasses perched on her nose, just nodded along. The trial was a circus. Sarah's friends testified I was emotionally distant. My friends countered she was a gold digger who checked out years ago. The town split down the middle. Half thought I was a fool for not seeing it coming. Half thought Sarah was a snake. One day, a reporter from the local paper cornered me outside the courthouse. "Tom, how's it feel to win the lottery and lose your wife?" I wanted to punch him, but I just muttered, "It sucks," and kept walking. Social media was worse. Strangers called me greedy, stupid, even cursed. "Should have hidden the ticket," one post read. I started to wonder if they were right. Then came the bombshell. Linda dug up Sarah's bank statements. Turns out she'd been funneling money to a secret account for 2 years, $50,000 siphoned from our joint savings. "She was planning this," Linda said, slamming the documents on her desk. "This isn't about the lottery. She was going to leave you anyway." My blood boiled. All those nights I'd come home exhausted, thinking we were building a life, and she was plotting her escape in court. Linda tore into her. Mrs. Carter, did you intend to divorce my client before the lottery win? Sarah's face went white. She stammered. No, I, I was unhappy, but the judge's eyes narrowed. I felt a spark of hope. But Sarah wasn't done. She countersued, claiming I'd hidden assets, my dad's old fishing boat, worth maybe $5,000, and a savings account I'd forgotten about with $2,000 in it. He's deceitful, her lawyer shouted. I couldn't believe it. Deceitful, I'd given her everything. The courtroom felt like a pressure cooker, every word twisting the knife deeper. One day, Sarah took the stand and looked right at me. Tom never loved me, she said, tears streaming. He loved his work, his buddies, not me. I wanted to jump up and yell. Then why'd you stay for 12 years? But Linda grabbed my arm. Don't, she whispered. Let her bury herself. The turning point came when my sister, Jen, testified. She'd never liked Sarah, always said she was too polished, too perfect. Jen told the court about a conversation she'd overheard at a family barbecue last summer. Sarah was on the phone, laughing, saying, once I'm out, I'm set for life. Jen swore it was about me. Sarah's lawyer objected, called it hearsay, but the judge let it stand. The courtroom buzzed. I saw doubt flicker in the judge's eyes. For the first time, I thought I might win. Outside court, things got crazier. Sarah's sister, Emily, showed up at my house one night, begging me to settle. She's not herself, Emily said, eyes red. She's obsessed with the money. I almost felt bad, almost. But then I remembered the secret account, the lies, the way she'd looked at me like I was nothing. Tell her to go to hell, I said, slamming the door. Rusty barked in agreement. The next day, Sarah posted a sob story online about how I'd abandoned her. The comments were brutal, half supporting her, half calling her out. Gold digger. One said, poor thing. Another wrote, I stopped reading. It was too much. The trial dragged on for weeks, each day a new gut punch. Linda warned me the judge might split the money 60-40 in Sarah's favor. Citing her emotional distress, I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, $10 million, and I was living on instant noodles, too stressed to spend a cent. Then, a miracle. Linda found a witness, a bank teller, who'd overheard Sarah talking about her big plan to divorce me months before the lottery. The teller testified, nervous but clear. She said she was waiting for the right moment. The courtroom went silent. Sarah's face crumpled. I felt a rush of vindication, but it was bittersweet. This was the woman I'd loved, the one I'd planned to grow old with. In the end, the judge ruled in my favor. Sarah got $2 million generous. Considering her deception, I kept $8 million, minus legal fees. The gavel slammed, and I exhaled for the first time in months. Sarah didn't look at me as she left the courtroom. I heard later she'd moved to Florida, bought a condo, started over. I stayed in our house, kept working at the shop. The money sat in a bank account, untouched. I didn't feel rich. I felt hollow. Looking back, I wonder where it all went wrong. Was it the money, or was our marriage already broken? The lottery, just the match that lit the fuse? I don't know. I see Rusty's wagging tail, hear the hum of the shop, and I'm reminded life goes on. But some nights, I lie awake, wondering if I could have done something different, hidden the ticket, fought harder, loved better. Maybe then I'd still have her, or maybe I'm better off. What do you think? Was Sarah right to demand her share? Or was she just chasing the money? Should love outweigh greed? Or is fairness the real issue here? Share your thoughts. Where does justice lie in a mess like this?